Good day. I'm 10 minutes late today. I had some computer troubles. I had to do a reboot right as I was starting, so hopefully we're live right now. And this is Hug Nation Live. Hello. It's a Saturday, so I know lots of people are sleeping in or not on their screens today, and to that I say, good on you. I will play this video a little bit later and be present with you in this moment. Good morning. It is overcast, my favorite. It is cool enough to wear a beanie, and we are here to come together, share some gratitude, and set a little intention for the person we want to be today. I actually am, I had the best day yesterday. So many things that filled me with gratitude, and I will share shortly. But just to make sure we keep with tradition, I'll sing a little song right now. And if you want to give me a horse or even a big cow, not sure where I'd put it, but I'd be grateful still. I'd even have so much energy, I'd run to the top of the hill and say, ooh, gratitude, do, 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 gratitude, do, 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 gratitude, do, 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 do. It's the best thing in the world. Good morning. What are you grateful for? Say hello if you're here. I would love to see and feel your presence, and if other people know the same. Good morning, Gurbat. Good morning, high noon, and welcome back, John. Right on. 3 in a row. You're batting 1,000 for the last 3 days. Although I don't know much about baseball, so I'm not sure if that's accurate how you say those things. I think it is. Man, I've been cranking out about like 4 videos done to upload, which I need to do quickly because a few of them are about Burning Man. And people are going to be leaving soon. We recorded a long one and a short one yesterday with, we meaning Betsy and I for Stay Sparked. And just uploaded the new episode, a trailer for the new episode. It's kind of like last minute things we're excited about for people going to Burning Man, because neither one of us are going. Although Burning Man is a huge part of who we are. In fact, the description of Stay Sparked says that, hey, we're burners and we talk about Burning Man and psychedelics and personal growth. You know, you can stop going to Black Rock City, but that doesn't, you don't lose your burner status. Good morning, Juan, and good morning, Ken. John is grateful for a beautiful day. So good to see you, Ken. Ken says, I'm grateful for you and how you helped me with my first burn in 2016 and every year since. We're a big reason we are now powering the temple completely from solar power. Thanks for sharing that, Ken. These last 24 hours, I have been really flooded with things to be grateful for. That is the most recent of, wow. Thank you, Ken. Okay, I'm going to share a couple other ones. I got a text last night from my former CEO for a company that I was a founder in. I was a founder at this startup, and I was brought in as Chief Wisdom Officer. And he brought me in because I was a Burning Man guy, and he wanted to bring some of the vibe and ethos and philosophies and ideology into this legit, venture-backed large company that we were starting. And so one of the things that I did that was most impactful and successful is I did a company-wide gratitude circle every Friday morning for an hour. The entire company did not work for an hour, and we did a gratitude circle. It was incredible. And I started giving talks about it, and I met with the local mayor in Ventura and talked to her about it. And at some point, the company went through changes. I left. The gratitude circles stopped happening. And I got a text last night from the CEO, the founder, saying, we just started the gratitude circles up again. And we currently have 1,600 employees, so I'm not sure exactly how we're going to scale it, but I led my direct teams. We had 23 people. And he said, I didn't know how long it would take for people to get the hang of it, but it was incredible. A+. He said 6 people cried during it. It continues to be one of the things I'm most proud of, from a professional standpoint, that I was able to bring in gratitude and human connection into a setting that often asks people to keep their true selves out of the workplace. And so I left him this long voice message back, just saying how grateful for that experience I was and am, and how significant it was. I talk about this to people a lot. For that to work, the CEO has to role model. The leadership has to be vulnerable. The leadership can't say, okay, I want you guys all to do some team building activities. I want you to be vulnerable. No, the leader has to show vulnerability, show humanity, and then let people know that this is a safe place to be human. And he did that, really impressively in our office, in our company, in the company culture that we built. And so he said that they started up, and it's amazing already. And it feels so good, because part of my story that I have told is how incredible that was, and how unfortunate it was that the company had to stop doing it, because eventually the investors were pressuring us, and they couldn't understand by looking at the spreadsheets why it was worthwhile to do a gratitude circle and take people, off their task list. And to see that the wisdom of that camaraderie, the wisdom of making gratitude a part of every human being's ability to experience life better, be more connected to themselves and the people around them, to see that idea did not die. It may have been dormant in this place, but it has risen. I'm so proud and encouraged. If you have a company that you think you would like to introduce a gratitude practice into, reach out to me. It is something that I have advised and done consulting on and help people set it up. And there's a lot of reasons why it can make a dramatic difference in the way people work with each other and become a team, instead of feel competition between sales and marketing. Oh man, they're working too slow. Oh, they're overselling the product. But the gratitude, you go from being Programmer Joe to Ted, who is so proud of his daughter playing piano, and who is so grateful for his coworker for covering his shift for the recital. And you're like, oh man, these are all real, beautiful, three-dimensional people. And dare I say it, you start to love each other. Gratitude, gratitude. Heinun says, gratitude for just sending family on their way back to San Diego with some snacks and a love note. Gratitude for biking and trains from Cape Cod to San Diego in 2019. Well, that sounds like an exciting adventure. Thanks, Heinun. Juan says, I'm grateful for the time and the past knowledge to know what I'm doing. It's going to be a great burn. Yeah. So speaking of great burns and more reasons why I'm excited, so I shared with you the video that I rediscovered of my grandpa giving a message to people going to Burning Man. And I put it on Instagram and Facebook. And in the last 48 hours, 120,000 people have watched it. When my grandpa died in 2007, I wasn't exactly sure what I was doing in life. And I decided that the one thing I knew would be good would be to share his love and share his wisdom. And so that became a part of my life. And I did weekly Hug Nation broadcasts for decades. And then over the last, almost 5 years, maybe 5 years now, we've been doing Hug Nation gatherings every day. And every single day, I say on behalf of Grandpa Caleb, and we hug each other. You can see him behind me right now. He's there every day. And so this feeling of knowing that I just got an opportunity for his loving ripples to spread to 100,000 more people. Oh God, it feels so good. I gotta remember the way I feel right now, because I definitely go through bouts where I feel like I'm wasting my time. I don't know what I'm doing. I should be doing more. I should be doing this. I should. And then a day like today when I go, I got to share Grandpa's love with 120,000 people. I got to implement a gratitude practice into corporate America, which is now still going, or, never quite died and has been rekindled in corporate culture of a company that is now at 1,600 employees. And I know over the years, a number of people who've, after I've explained the process and how it worked for us and how we do it and how to implement it, that have done it in their companies or organizations. So, hot damn. And then to find all that happening and to be in relationship with the love of my life, who have met the most amazing human being I've ever met, and have us fall in love together and plan a life together. I really am living the dream, a dream I didn't even know I had. I'm so in love with my life. I'm happy even when I'm sad. I wrote that song. I know it needs some more words, but that's the chorus. And I teared up during recording Stay Sparked yesterday as I was talking about not going to Burning Man and how proud and honored I am and was when I saw Pink Heart on Esplanade thriving without me. Ripples. The last 24 hours have been some of the most dramatic, clear message from the universe saying, good job. And it's good timing because I really need to start promoting and telling people that I've got a men's group gathering on September 7th that ideally I'll find another 7 people who are really called to and really dedicated and want to be there. And that's one of the hardest things for me to do, is to do anything where I charge money for personal growth stuff, because I feel like I don't want anyone to feel a barrier between them and their desire to be happier and more joyous and more grateful. I have to tell myself, look, you do free, you're here free every day. So if someone wants this, it's available for free. So if they really want to dedicate and put resources towards it, then they can sign up for something that you charge for. It's funny how that's like a tough one in my head. And even that, I've kind of been really clear to people like, hey, if finances are a problem, talk to me. I mean, I ask for money, not because that's what I do to make a living, but because I want people to be committed and to value the time and to, yeah, to have it be an investment in themselves. If I'm going to be there with 100% dedicated, I want to know that the people that are going to join me for that time are going to also have the same level of, look, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm going to do what it takes to grow and to help each other grow. But if that's you and you are struggling with rent, let me know. There are other ways for us to establish an energy exchange and for me to be confident that you're committed to the time and you will value the time. I hope you can hear me. I'm speaking in a much quieter voice. Lisa actually is working with a client downstairs, and I just don't want to distract. High Noon says, gratitude for your facilitation with leading gratitude in a setting that needs more than crunching numbers. As a facilitator myself in the experiential educator world, I see the importance. Oh, interesting. One of my best friends, I think, is experiential education is his field. And he's the person that I go to when I'm like working on a class or a course. I'm like, what do you think about this? And then he always goes, well, are you open to suggestions? I'm like, yeah. Izzy, good morning. Good morning, Izzy. And good morning, Mingle. Good morning, I love you. Gerbot says, I'm grateful for my packing lists and for time to bring it all together. Man, I hung out in the burner sphere, the 3D world, for a little bit. And then I did an interview with the founders, Athena and Doug. And going into the virtual world, I had some of this like feeling that it felt like I was like arriving on Playa. And then I watched not all of it, but a good portion of Mark Day's new 24 Hours at Burning Man, which is so good, so good. And I'm in it too, but that's not why it's so good. And I still have no desire to go to Burning Man, but I really was in touch with the place in my heart that loves it so much. So I'm excited for everybody that is packing and going. Hello, Luann. Good morning. Happy Saturday. I'm trying to stop saying good morning because it's 9:30 for me, but it's Saturday for many of you. High Noon says, same with me, John. Burning Man is on my list of experiences. I hope we can all share a moment together there one day. And, I haven't mentioned it for a while here, so in case this applies to High Noon, you and John, and, well, it does apply to you, so let me make sure I'm very clear on this. There was a time when being a burner meant that you went to the event that happens in the Black Rock Desert in Nevada. And then more and more regional events started happening, and people started embracing the 10 principles in their cities and their communities. I've been to regionals in Washington, D.C., in Santa Cruz. I've been to one in Western Australia. And many of the people that attend those events never go to the one in Nevada. And then we had things like this Burner Sphere, which is a digital version. It's really interesting. This one that they're making it so you can use it. It works awesome if you have 3D, like a VR goggles, but it's not necessary. It's just like a way that you can connect with other burners and check out digital, like 3D versions of like the art or past temples, and really cool. And so there were these people all over the world during COVID that became burners, never going to an actual event, but really by learning about and embracing the 10 principles and the culture. And I found that generally the people that find their way to me on the socials or YouTube or this right here, right now, in some way feel a connection with the 10 principles. If you're not familiar with them at all, then look them up on Google or look up my explanation of them on the Burner Prep Instagram account. I go one by one and explain them pretty briefly. Or you can listen to me talk about them in more depth at playaprinciples.com. Because they're these principles and ideas that you don't need to go to an event for them to affect and change and guide your life. In fact, the whole point of the event really is just to have a safe space to practice those things, to have a place where you can be radically self-expressed and have confidence that you will be supported. No one's gonna roll their eyes at you when you dress like a bondage chicken or whatever you've always wanted to do. When you have practice in a place where there is decommodification, when it's non-transactional, there's no tit for tat, which is an idea that I think is not hard to grasp intellectually, but until you are living in a city that is non-transactional, you really don't understand how different it is. When everyone that talks to you, there's no agenda behind it. I think you can generally assume that in the world if a stranger walks up to you, you're on guard, because why would they come up to you? They want your signature on a form because they're getting paid to do this. They want you to buy something. They want you to something usually. But if there is a city where that is not allowed, then if someone walks up to you, they either are curious about who you are, they saw something cool they want to share with you, they have a gift to share with you, they want to make your day better, or they want to make who you are a part of their world. That's incredible. It's so liberating. Oh, the other example is often if a stranger approaches you, and this is more true for women, they're being hit on. And so when in the default world, we have to live in a state of kind of monitoring what is people's agenda, what is their motivation. And in Black Rock City, it's not nearly as convoluted. And as you spend time in that space, oh wow, can it change the whole functioning of your brain, the whole functioning of your motivations. So I love that you guys are considering Burning Man in your future. And I encourage you to see if there's a regional event that's closer to you that's maybe easier to make happen, and find local burners that are also excited about the 10 principles. But you don't have to go to be a burner. If you're here and you're nodding at the things I'm saying, welcome home. John says, fear has kept me from going. I'm still worried that I will have difficulty returning to my normal life, but I figured it's about time to let that fear go. I think that's a legitimate question, or a legitimate fear. The question I think the deeper question, and this is something that I think a lot of people deal with like not wanting to go to therapy or not wanting to do psychedelics, is what if you do become aware that the life that you're living, the life that you become accustomed to, isn't enough, doesn't have enough creativity in it, doesn't have enough hugs in it, doesn't have enough opportunities for you to be who you really are. Then you have hard work. Then you have to integrate these new ideas and try to figure out how can you make space for those things in your life. How can you make your job not so taxing so that you have energy at the end of the day to start a hobby or spend more time with your music or have the courage to dress a little differently in the office space or bring up a topic in the lunchroom at work that is a little weird. When I said, I don't mean like political, I mean like something that's exciting about you, about the nature of reality. And yeah, then things are at risk. And it goes back to the sticker that I put on everything. Can you read that? No. Be present, have integrity, align with love. Meaning, all of us are generally trying to make the decisions, say the things, do the things to steer our life in the direction that we want it to go because we think we know the right path for us. And as you grow wiser, you learn more and more that you don't know what's best for you. Sometimes the most painful obstacles, the most difficult struggles are the ones you look back at with the most gratitude. So rather than trying to manipulate and craft your decisions and words to get people to do what you think they should or to get the outcome you think you want, instead, be present, let go of past, future, start fresh in this moment, have integrity, line up with the beliefs, the values that you know to be true. The things, when I say integrity, I mean the beliefs that feel true from the inside because you've done inquiry and you realize, oh, that's something I was taught. Like I was taught that I'll be happy if I get a big house. What is true? What is an integrity? Actually, an integrity to me is if I feel like I am known as a kind man by the people who know me. Okay? I'm in line with that. And then, have integrity and then align with love of what is the energetic flow towards more compassion, less suffering. And then if you make your decision based on that, and just trust that whatever the outcome is, even if it's difficult, it's going to lead you where you're supposed to be. It might mean saying the truth in a meeting that jeopardizes your job. It could mean telling your romantic partner something that has been in your mind and heart that you've been afraid of their reaction. Either way, whether they say, oh my gosh, I can't be with you if that's true. Good. Otherwise, you're lying to them and you're allowing them to base their decisions on a deceit. It is not saving them, it's not helping them. It's a cruel thing to do to others, to force them to make their life decisions around lies. So maybe that's what be present means, the truth. Or maybe they hear your truth and it hurts and it's awkward. And then they go and they get through to the other side and they say, wow, thank you. I'm learning to trust you in a way that I didn't before. If you can tell me those hard things and we can trust each other, it really opens up the possibility of deeper and deeper connection. So, a long way of saying, I totally understand why it is scary to undertake an activity, a therapy, a psychedelic experience, a breath work, anything that could force you to look at your life and say, "Ooh, I need to make some changes." But at the end of your life, are you going to look back and say, I am glad that I spent the majority of my energy making sure my boss didn't get upset? Or are you going to say, I'm glad I tried to figure out who I was best I could, tried to figure out who I am, what matters to me, what my gifts are, and how I can share them with the world? And damn, that was definitely the road less traveled. That was definitely hard. And there was lots of times when I had no map. You know, if you stay on the straight and narrow, you do what you're supposed to do, you kind of follow the guidelines of how to be successful in whatever way in the world, and it's pretty simple. You can be losing or winning, but you know the rules, you know the objective. Once you step off that track and start to go, what does it say in here? What really makes me feel like I'm in alignment with something deeper, something true? Then you will, guaranteed at some point, you will find yourself going, I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm super fucking scared. I like it when the questions are answered, and here I am just sitting in a bunch of questions. Yeah, that's how it works. And there's no greater game, no more exciting adventure that a human being gifted with this grand treasure of consciousness can undertake than that. So no pressure, but I gently nudge you to take the step towards more self-awareness, more courageous acceptance of your truth. Because in that state, you start to find more and more and more people like you, like the people here, that are also in those places. And then when you're in that scary, alone, lost, I don't know what to do state, you realize, oh, there's millions of us. And knowing that we're all trying to figure this out makes it so much less scary. Being in it is that's it. We're not, oh man, as soon as I get to the end of this self-growth journey, I'll win the game. No. It's, the game is it's the fun of it is being in it. It's fun to be in this game with you. Thanks for being here and being a part of this game with me. I love you. Okay, I'm been kind of on a little bit of a roll. If you missed the beginning, I've had multiple things in the last 24 hours that have just filled my heart in such profound ways that I'm kind of oozing right now. Good morning, Sherry. Sherry's grateful for the dog. Lots I know I should feel grateful for, The only thing that lifts my heavy heart this week is playing with my son's dog. Sherry, I love you so much, and I love your truth, and I love your ability to find the little gems amongst the shit. And I think that's success. It's easy to only see the shit, and if you can practice and try to find something magic, find a little cone here and there, find something, then you're crushing it. Well done, Sherry. Heinen said, Salt Lake City's Jank Star Crew events have been such a Burning Man vibe. I embrace the Burning Man culture even though I've never been. Heinen says, and a small crew in Bozeman, Montana as well. Good morning, Michael. Michael says, good morning, brother. It's funny, I had a dream the other night that I changed my name to Brother John. So I introduced myself as, hi, I'm Brother John. We'll see if that still sounds cool as I wake up. Mingle says, I have gratitude that I'm surrounded by pink outfits. Luann says, grateful for the calm before all the new campers who can't make it to the dust find Camp Envy and the wonderful chaos of Burn Week begins. Love watching them learn about the principles and how that changes them. Sweet, Luann. Speaking of, have you checked out Burner Sphere yet? It's like the old BRC VR, but not built underneath a Microsoft platform. Its own thing. It's got better graphics, and it's really like a community. It's just starting. It's really rad. Thank you, Michael. Michael says, you're on a roll. Thanks for rolling with me. Heinen says, question I am trying my best to say every day now. Am I being authentic me? And if not, why? And there's legitimate, real answers for that. You're not failing if there are times when you're playing the role that you need to play to find harmony in your job, in your family. It's okay to know what role makes things work peacefully in your family and play that role. Or in your job. Nothing wrong with that. If you feel compelled to stretch into that, great. I would caution you, or I would advise that people often, as they start to discover more authentic versions of themselves that feel true, they find themselves with wanting the people around them to change. They want their parents to be more in the direction that they have now gone. And without really realizing it, they're building up a resentment because their parents are so judgmental, not realizing that that entire thought process is judgment. It's all part of the journey of loving ourselves, loving others, seeing the perfection of what is right now, and growing and evolving as a joyful process, even when it's hard. Not one based on shoulds. Gerbot says, this is it. Be here now. Heinen says, grateful to be here now with y'all. Thank you for being here. Love you guys. It's already 9:50. Okay, I'm gonna play a video that I was working on that I'm either just did or I'm about to post. It's a did I already play that? I think I tried and it didn't work. When someone asked me, how do I explain Burning Man? It totally changed my life, and I changed my career and everything. I want to make videos and I want to tell people about Burning Man, but like I keep trying. I'm like, how do I tell people? How do I explain Burning Man? And so I recorded this, and I think the thing that you might find fun is that I dropped in a bunch of little clips of me talking at Burning Man over the years. So you can see me talking at Burning Man in 2003, and then 2019, and then 2022, and it's a bunch of fun stuff. So let me share with you the how do you explain Burning Man? I think this is it. Wait, is this it? Yeah. How can I explain Burning Man? I don't think you can. I think what you can do is you can talk about how you've been changed. You can talk about the transformation that you've gone through. You can talk about how the things you experienced, the people you experienced, the attitudes you experienced allowed you to grow, allowed you to feel more free. Because trying to describe Burning Man to someone is like trying to describe your dream that you had last night. There is 0% chance that the person who is hearing the words that you're saying are going to interpret those words anything close. So careful about how you describe the undescribable, but continue to try and continue to focus on your personal experiences. And that's something that people can relate to, whether they've been to Burning Man or not. These are the stories that are worth telling, more so than, and then there was this whale and it had like neon, and there was like this light thing that happened, and then the sound, and it's like describing the Grand Canyon or describing a fireworks show. But you can describe the way the Grand Canyon affected you, and people will get that far easier. Hug Nation. Hug Nation. If Mingle's still here, there was some footage from you in that video of me riding my scooter. As I keep saying, I'm stewing in good vibes today. Thanks for being a part of it. Tomorrow, I'm heading over to my brother's house. He's leaving with my sister-in-law and Caleb to drive back to Colorado for school, and so I'm going to stay at their house with my other nephew, Carter, who's awesome, and I can't wait to hang out with him. So if you've got it in you, if you've got arms, if you've got an open heart, wherever you are. Okay, before we hug, it's been so cool. So, 120,000 people have watched Grandpa on video the last 48 hours. And, a lot of people are like, oh, wow, it's so cool that you keep his energy alive. And I'm like, you have no idea. Every single day, we close this worldwide meeting in his behalf. So, if you join me wherever you are, give yourself a big old squeeze. Loving this body, loving the courage it takes. Grateful for a community that acknowledges the challenges, supports us, that reminds us that it is so worth it to take that road less traveled, that cheerleads us, that judges our success not by the achievements, but by the integrity of our path. So wherever you are, give yourself a big old squeeze, and on behalf of Grandpa Caleb, let's give ourselves a squeeze, squeeze each other, feel me squeezing you. As you squeeze me and everybody here and everybody who is in this intentional space. Doesn't matter where your feet are, it matters where your heart is. We're with you, Grandpa Caleb. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of us here, thanks for being here for this Hug Nation Live and for being a part of my life. I love you. If you know anybody that might want to come to my men's group, send them my way.